After watching the entirety of VJHS with Jay Schlatt, I had one question. Could VJHS legally exist in real life? First, we need to specify what state it is in, and I'm assuming California as that's where it's filmed. Now, California has a lot of different laws for different things, but the requirements for schools were nicely laid out on the Department of Education website, which I'll be referring to for the duration of this video. I first believed it was a charter school, as then they might be able to specify into video games legally and not have to do the curriculum, but in the state of California, charter schools cannot legally charge tuition. This leads to only one remaining option, a private school. Now, something could be called a private school and operate, but we need a private school that fulfills the education requirement, as if it didn't, the students would still have to go to normal school, which they do not do in the show. These requirements include having the full-time day school, which means there is enough time throughout the year to cover the course of study. This course of study and required classes for the curriculum are where we run into problems. The classes in VJHS are hard to figure out. It seems like you pick your major and then are taught for the majority of the time in your classroom. It looks like you're taught different topics in the same classrooms, such as math through Master Chief in the FPS classroom. For their curriculum, California has a list of required classes, and I am not sure VJHS covers these. The required courses for California are English, Social Studies, Foreign Language, Physical Education, Science, Mathematics, Visual and Performing Arts, Applied Arts, Career Technical Education, and Automobile Driver Education. Now, I'm not sure if this means they have to offer them or people have to take them, but let us continue anyway. First off is English, which I don't see any direct reference to, but I think might be incorporated in some of the classes. We see this in drifting, as Ted had to write a report on the history of drifting, which could have been an English assignment. Other classes, however, might lack this, as I'm pretty sure Rhythm 101 with Freddie Wong doesn't have much in the way of deep education. There might be unshown classes, however, as when Calhoun makes his speech in the last episode, he says that he didn't pass gaming history, a class which I think would count towards the social studies requirement. The foreign language I do not see specifically mentioned, but it could be off screen. Science could follow the same lines as that. Physical education is mentioned, as Brian D, Ted, and Key talk about a yoga class. Mathematics is definitely there, at least in the FPS 101 field of study, as there is Master Chief. Both visual and performing arts are offered, as I would think game design covers that, which is what Key was going to do until she switched to rhythm gaming for Ted. I think applied arts, which includes business, would be covered by the RTS group, as I'm pretty sure they talk about business and trade stocks and Bitcoin or something. I would say the school has career technical education, as they're preparing their students for esports careers in different fields, like Field of Fire or fighting games. VJHS offers a developed driving education program, as they have both drifting and karting, but sadly they don't include motorcycles, which is required for California. The issue with some of these, like video game history and the driving classes, is that they are video game centered and not real life centered, which could run into governmental problems. Besides time and curriculum, California doesn't regulate too much else about private schools. They let them run from school to parent for the most part. Teachers do not even need a license, as they just need to be capable of teaching. So, could VJHS exist? I would say with some modifications it could, such as offering some real-life classes. VJHS could not turn into a charter school though, as a private school cannot turn into a charter school. We must recognize that VJHS is a different universe, or at least a different timeline to us, as we do not have schools for gaming like that. So, could it be possible? As a form of higher education like a trade school, sure, but as a high school? Probably not, without some major changes.